Buenas tardes, señoras y señores. Es un gusto para mí el tener aquí al señor Jean Todt y a su muy distinguida esposa, la señora Jean Todt, a quien han tenido la bondad de acompañarnos por una gira por toda América. Esta gira ha sido intensa, pero de gran beneficio para nuestra zona americana. El objetivo principal es dar a conocer el programa de 10 años para el buen equilibrio de los caminos libres de accidentes en toda América y en el mundo. Ojalá y todos pensemos en participar en este gran programa que se ha establecido a través de Naciones Unidas y que durante 10 años no olvidemos que queremos caminos seguros para todos. Señor Todt, muchísimas gracias.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a pleasure for me to be here with my colleagues representing different clubs all around the region, and with Automóvil, with one eminent member of the FIA, is Vice President of the FIA Sport, and is also the President of NACAM. And we have been completing a very interesting tour which was following the American Congress, which was held in Cartagena in Colombia. And we have been visiting 7 countries, which was for us a possibility to address a number of important issues, amongst them one which is very dear to all of us, which is road safety around the world. And yesterday we arrived in Mexico, and we have had some meetings already with some authorities of the country to speak about the implementation of some specific programs to improve the road safety in your great and beautiful country, where automotive is part of this, the essence of your country. And this morning we are here, and we are happy to share some minutes with you, and we are happy to answer to some of your questions. I must say I've already some exercised since yesterday, talking with some media, with some TV, so now we are at your disposal.
Bien, a continuación vamos a pasar a la sección de preguntas y respuestas. De la manera más atenta les pido por favor que levanten la mano quien desea hacer uso de alguna pregunta. Empezamos por el lado izquierdo, si es tan amable.
José Antonio Torres, de la agencia F de España. Mi pregunta para el señor Todt es: ¿qué panorama conocen ustedes de esta región de América respecto a la seguridad en carreteras que les ha motivado a implementar o a proponer este plan?
I must say, I love this part of the world. I've always, and I keep saying that for me, that when many years ago, 78, I was a rally driver, and I had the opportunity of participating for what was for me probably the most fascinating event. It was called Vuelta América del Sur, 30,000 kilometers, 30 days, and I visited a lot of countries. It was not including Mexico. Incidentally, you have now a world rally event in Mexico, which is one amongst the best events of the rally FIA World calendar. But if I take road safety in this part of the world, I must say it's a lot to be done. The encouraging thing is through visits of different countries, everybody does realize that, and everybody is prepared to act for that. You are probably aware that the United Nations has initiated a program which is called Decade of Action for Road Safety 2011-2020, with the objective to save over the next decade 5 million lives and 50 million injured people. You have two categories of countries, the developed countries and the developing countries. 90% of the worldwide accidents, which means in 2010 1.3 million fatalities over the world and 50 million injured people, 90% of those accidents are happening in developing countries. So you can understand what are the figures in your countries. In the developed countries, over the last 10 years, the accidents have been divided by 2. In developing countries, it has increased by almost 2. So it is time for action to be undertaken. It starts by one involvement of...
Silencio, por favor. No, continue.
It starts by the involvement of the government of the various countries in the region, and you can be sure that all our clubs are working very closely with the government, have very strong ambitions, and I'm very much looking for global result by combining private and public sector to work together, and I hope that my trip together with my wife Michelle, with the Global Road Safety Ambassador, will allow to take some very strong action to implement program for the coming years.
La siguiente pregunta, por favor.
¿Con qué autoridades se van a reunir para tomar estas decisiones en cuanto a la seguridad en las carreteras? Es decir, con el presidente de la República Mexicana, con el secretario de Comunicaciones y Transportes o con la misma Policía Federal de Caminos. Gracias.
So that's my guide in Mexico. So maybe Jose will tell you who I'm going to meet.
Bueno, ya ayer por la noche estuvimos con Caminos y Puentes Federales de Ingresos, estuvimos con la Secretaría de Comunicaciones, con representantes de la Secretaría. Estaremos teniendo entrevistas con el Secretario de Salud, tendremos entrevistas con el Secretario de Comunicaciones también como tal. Estaremos en una entrevista muy privada, seguramente con el señor Presidente y por ejemplo el Presidente Calderón, y estaremos con otras autoridades en esta corta visita, pero yo creo que va a ser muy positiva para mí.
¿Quién sigue? Por favor. ¿Alguien por ahí levantó la mano? Ahí atrás.
¿Es un país viable para realizar una carrera de Fórmula 1 en estos momentos?
So it has been in the past, and there is no reason why it will not be in the future. You must, you know better than me, and it's part of the visits I intend to do to go and to have a view of the Hermanos Rodriguez circuit, where I've been when I was in charge of the Peugeot team, and it was one sports car race on this circuit. It has been for many years a Formula 1 race in Mexico. Then for different economical reasons it has stopped, but now Mexico is a very strong country, very strong economically, and I'm convinced that it's a possibility that it will happen.
Bien. Tres últimas preguntas.
Infobit.com. Aprovechando, señor Todt, que nos honra con su visita, yo quisiera abundar más en esta pregunta. ¿Cuál sería el obstáculo que tendríamos que resolver en México? ¿Sería cuestión de dinero? ¿Tendríamos que necesitar por menos de 360 millones de dólares? ¿O sería más hacer un autódromo nuevo? Tenemos dos autódromos, el Hermanos Rodríguez, el José Abed, el Miguel Abed de Puebla. ¿Tendríamos posibilidad de que solamente fuera única y exclusivamente el dinero los que nos frenaría?
We know that motor racing has a cost, but I mean, maybe to be more specific to your question, we have some very strong criteria for homologating circuits, taking into account safety parameters. So we have different classification of homologation of circuits to be able to compete in a Formula 1 race or in an endurance race. You must be of the first category, grade 1, and of course requests are more demanding because we want to make sure that we optimize the safety for the car, for the drivers and for the public.
Bien, dos últimas preguntas. Chacho, por favor.
Luis Manuel López de Revista Países en accidentes fatales en Latinoamérica y en el mundo. Tal vez México merezca recibir un poco más de atención respecto a este nuevo programa en 10 años para poderlo moldear como base hacia otros países latinoamericanos que compartimos muchas condiciones. ¿Este es el pensamiento de este programa de la FIA o es un programa muy general?
You have some elementary things to respect, and in some countries it's more or less developed, but in each country you have rules which are implemented, but very often the rules are not followed. So you know, it starts from education. You must, like you bring children to school and they are educated. And for me, the behavior when you are driving a car or a motorbike must be supported by a strong education. And then you must respect it. You know, you have some elementary points like wearing the safety belt. Wearing the safety belt in some countries in the world, unfortunately, people don't know what is a safety belt. In some developed countries, nobody would dare to think going into the car without putting the safety belt. So the cultures are completely very different from one country to another one. Then you have to respect the limitations which are imposed, and we know very well that the respect of the rules is not followed and supported by all those countries. You have some elementary aspects like not drinking while driving. So, you know, it's an endless list of things which has to be done and supported. On motorbikes, I was, yesterday we were in Guatemala. And in Guatemala they don't know, most of them, that you need to put one helmet when you drive a motorbike. You have some countries when you have the whole family on a motorbike with the tires which are completely worn. So it goes from a very strong input from each government to implement those measures. And of course, you know, some countries have not the means, the facilities, the budget to have proper roads, and it's something which needs to be reassessed. But clearly, it's a worldwide problem, and I'm very happy to see that this decade of action, this resolution, has been undertaken by United Nations, and it will give one opportunity to reassess this problem, which is among the most important problem in the world.
Bien, no queda ninguna pregunta.